Hi, it's Barbara from the Black Light Lab, bringing light into the darkness. Thank you very much for subscribing and following me on my journey. This is a check-in. I haven't been on in a while. I've been experiencing very deep, dark transformations. Several dark night of the souls in this 1 year of my Kundalini awakening. I'm hoping to now bring more videos on coping and being able to maneuver a DNA awakening. But first, I'd like to say we have a great responsibility that what we share and what we project is just we let the viewers know that it is just a perspective. This is my perspective, and this is how I've perceived things. I believe we all play a part in this matrix. So some people will be activated to trigger you, that cousin that you love so much all of a sudden turns on you because there is something in you that there's lacking, or a boundary you need to put up. And as we go through these transformations, up-leveling frequency, there's twists and turns in this movie, in this hero's journey that we're all on right now. Especially if you're watching my channel, then I'm sure you're super high frequency as I am. So with that though, so I can't stress enough that having a Kundalini awakening is literally dying in your own skin, and and you having to witness it and being dragged out, and it's not pretty, and it's painful in not mentally only, but painful in your body. It hurts. I am a 44-year-old New York City woman that quit her job a year ago after a failed relationship. Just a little story behind my Kundalini awakening if you haven't seen my other videos. Also, those other videos are not even like me anymore. I've changed. That's not even me anymore. So transformation keeps happening so fast that that person's not even me anymore. But so it's been a period of darkness, transformation. You know, it's test after test, triggers after triggers, eclipses, full moons. You know, learning. And so we all go through the stages, and one of the stages is being on your soapbox and telling everybody that you should have a DNA awakening and have go look for a Shaktipat and have that activation and awakening. Unless you're ready to experience demons, evil, pain, like, you don't know what you're getting yourself into. I mean, and mine was spontaneous. I had the spinal sweep first, and so I was not eating well. I was not financially secure, but somehow I made it to this far. And if I could go back and tell others that are starting or looking for answers or about to be awakened, is that have a good emotional support system, have money saved in the bank, learn health and fitness and all these things that are not taught to us as humans growing up. Our parents weren't taught that, so most of us weren't taught this. I lived a very hard, fast life. I'm from New York City. I partied a lot in my life. I love music, but I love nightclubs, and up to a few months ago, I was partying a lot and having a full-time corporate career and being a mother. But it was all balance to me. but there were places I wasn't honoring myself. I mean, that's where God took me through this transformation now, and now I have more empathy for people in there, what they're going through. I can tell what, you know, what they're experiencing, you know, why, kind of like intuitively. But most people don't want to be helped, and it's even with the closest friends that I have with me, I've learned is that I can just be a good ear to listen, because they won't hear you until they're ready to. I didn't hear anybody until I was ready to. I had to look through YouTube and books for answers. So my goal is, from now on, that I'm going to make more videos, is to show you that you can heal yourself on your own, because I didn't have any money. I didn't have, you know, people are charging for things, and some of us do not have that luxury. I had a former coworker at Bloomingdale's. I ran into him in the park last summer, and he was homeless, and he had more psychic abilities than I did, and I was put in his path in order for him to awaken him. And you know, but he also told me that I had an entity attachment at the time. But I am very fortunate that in the year that I have gone through this awakening, is that I had a home, and I was given food, but other than that, just like 2 weeks ago, I bought a pair of jeans for the first time in a year, and I've gained some weight in order, I guess, to I guess whatever transformation is going in my body, you put on some weight, because you certain cycles, you crave sugar, some cycles you don't want to eat, and the Kundalini will, it has a very strong power over you. So I'm very fortunate that I had a support system and a home, and I was able to have enough money from my mother, who was helping me to go to still pay for the gym, because the last thing as a woman is not being able. I learned not to, you know, to be grateful for everything that I have, to use everything that I have, and to recycle every outfit, and then I started, you know, gaining weight, and so, you know, I lived in leggings for a year and overalls, and I didn't feel pretty, and it just, so with the Kundalini, you age. One day you look young, and then another day you look 95 years old, and I'm like, oh my God, what happened? What happened to me? And it was very painful as a woman, as a human, to be experiencing those things. And I have other stories to share about that, but that'll be a separate video. And so I fast forward to just a few days ago. I've met some great people on the internet. This woman, Meghan from Clouds and Dirt, shout out to her. She put me in touch with somebody who didn't have a Kundalini awakening, but she's having a spiritual awakening, and she's awesome. And so we got to, you know, it's nice to share your story with somebody else, and, you know, and to give hope. And it's like you have a cheerleader, a new friend somewhere else in another state, whatever. She lives in Montreal, and you know, it was just nice. It's nice to have people like that around you. But after talking to her, I'm like, I really still couldn't figure out why. I'm like, all right, you know, I think I'm doing better. I've got this freedom. I'm ready, but I still didn't feel well. So I was minding my business 2 days ago, and I got a message, and I'm just like, I really had, like, I set these goals of all the things I want to do, and for some reason I couldn't do any of them. Barely do anything, barely work out, and I'm still eating awful. And this friend of mine, this guy James, he's at 21st Century Mystic on Instagram, and I'll put the link below. And he reached out to me. He's like, he's super mystic. He's like, hey girl, what's going on? I'm like, what's up? And so he's like, the angels, want to know what's going on with you, because they're like, what, and he asked me a slew of questions. I'm like, what happened at the beginning of June, this and that. And so basically it came down to that I was courted. I was courted by somebody else who's been financially helping me. And I was courted because with an energy cord, and I didn't know that my energy was being siphoned. I had no will to want to do anything. Like all the beautiful things I have in my room, like all the clothes that I have, like all the littlest things that you would find joy in. I love bike riding. I'm a tomboy in New York City. I like doing, working out, all this. Music, nothing brought me joy. Nothing. And he figured out that I was courted, and he helped cleared it, and then I felt this like energy spin, like a vortex. And the next day I got a job offer, and then just little by little my energy's coming back. And like today, like I like to dance and put myself on the internet, and and because that's who I am. I'm a little bit flamboyant and loud and crazy, and I'm from New York City. This is how I was raised. I like dressing up. I like makeup and clothes. I'm 44 years old, but I'm not dead yet, and I'm very, very young at heart. So I was just like, wow, thank you so much. And then I just felt God all over me, and I've been feeling so protected now. And simple thing, by calling back your energy, and whatever James did on his end to help me. And because I do with all the things that you're supposed to do, ground, salt baths, good white light, like nothing was working. And I'm like, what am I'm like, maybe I'm still having to go through a transformation. And it's so important to, like, I guess sometimes we need that extra help. I don't know. I've not really figured it out, but I'm so grateful at the end of the day, that I'm actually getting my life together. Because I wanted to kill myself a few times this year. Pretty much blank out, yeah, and people only will want to see what they want to see. Nobody posts about mental health. Nobody posts about their darkness. And I'm glad that there's so many people that are brave enough to talk about it and put it out there for others to see that it's going to be okay. Because there's things on the internet that talk about Kundalini and Kundalini psychosis, and you will want to go mad when you read that stuff. This person, the energy got lodged, and they were never the same, and like, oh my God, is that gonna happen to me? So I don't know if I mentioned this once before, but I believe that I was fast tracked into my great awakening because I asked for it. Because I don't think God's gonna give you anything you weren't asking for. But I think to me, I started this journey, and so I just kind of went. I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and like DNA awakening, and I did listen to a lot of light language, a lot of people that more activations, and so I asked for it. And there's one person, Landria Oak, I forgot her name, but she talks about asking for an acceleration, and I did, and it was basically asking for an acceleration and doing a full spin circle. And I wish I had known what I was getting myself into. I mean, I'm not like 1,000%, but I'm like 85% feeling better, and that to me is a big deal. And I want to give hope to people out there that are going through this, that you can be successful. There's other people on the internet that talk about their Kundalini awakenings, and they're okay. That's feel good. Carolyn, Kundalini, and Luna Ash. So I, you look at people like that, and you're like, well, if they made it through, then I can make it through. But again, I'm going to reiterate, we have a responsibility to let people know that it is not a walk in the park. It is not rainbows and unicorns. It is darkness and pain. You lose everything that you thought was love and hope, and it's all taken away from you as a test for your transformation, and so you could learn to sit your ass down and be by yourself. And not many people are going to understand that. I think people are going to fall away from you, and that's okay, and that's part of the process. But okay, this video's gotten a little long, but I just wanted to share this with you all. Like Feel Good says, be a dot, and that has a lot of value to me now, and holding back what you really want to say sometimes. Maybe you should say something, but you use your intuition when to speak up, because a lot of the time people aren't ready to hear it unless they find the answer themselves. And that's where you have the luxury of, and that's why I love social media, because that's where you can share your point of view, and you have to be you're accountable, but people are responsible for themselves as well, how they perceive it and take it in, but at the same time, going and telling everybody you should have a DNA awakening and this and that, unless you have money ready in the bank and a financial and a good emotional support system, it's not for the faint heart. And some of us don't get that choice. It's and I'm hoping that in my channel I'm going to share more ways of you coping with it, especially if you do not have the financial means, as you learn how to remove lack from you. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I will talk to you soon. Bless you all.